You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Guys, what is up? I was saying to Ralph off camera, it's so good that we can trust publishers, developers, anyone in business. You can just trust them when they come out with a statement.
I did not have...
When they say, guys, we are doing this because we want to change things for the community. I swear to God, we can always trust them, right?
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies.
You broke my heart, Bungie.
Guys,
Broke my heart.
you had a chance.
This is like
you
the-
had a chance.
This is like The Godfather, like you said.
You broke my heart.
So, alright, here's the background. Sorry, I just need to compose myself, man.
Before we even start, let me just say, they broke our
Just
heart.
need to compose myself.
They broke our heart with Halo 4.
That's
Okay?
right.
So they already started breaking our heart all the way back then.
Because Bungie totally made Halo 4.
Didn't they? Oh, didn't they? They know they didn't make Halo 5. They didn't make Halo 4.
They didn't make Halo 4 either.
Ah!
That is literally the second time you have done that.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
I thought it was Halo 5 that they picked up.
No,
Jesus
no, no.
Christ.
Anyway, the story is this. A while back, a Redditor started noticing that XP gains in Destiny were a bit funky. He did some digging around and he eventually found that there was a throttling factor associated with XP gains in Destiny. So, the more you earned, right, in a short space of time, the more the game would throttle you. So if you were earning a little bit of XP over a long period of time, no throttling. But if you were doing lots of sort of public event activities, which give you lots of XP really fast, the game would like put the brakes on it and you'd earn as little as like 5% of what you should have been earning.
Back in the center field, and right around here, his stride just a little bit. Had he been able to stay.
That was discovered by a Redditor a few days ago. We covered that story on day one.
Yes.
And we were like, this is fucking fishy.
Hot off the presses, people.
That's right.
This
Right
is what-
here, baby.
This is what layman's like.
Quality layman journalism right here. We looked at that and we were like, maybe we'll give them the benefit
You know
of the
what?
doubt. Maybe.
Another thing is, I didn't see a lot of other news channels cover it, to be honest. Like,
Are you just giving yourself one of these, Sam?
I'm just going to give myself a good old pat in the back.
That's right.
No, because the reason I say that, although it's self-serving, is...
Highly
self-serving, is... At the time, we didn't really think it was much of a story, right?
No,
were
we
like-
just looked at it and we're like, this is a bit fishy, though.
That's what I mean, right? So no, I think a lot of people out there were like, this seems like, small fry kind of stuff. And obviously it's not now, though.
Yeah, so what
Like-
happened after that was that Bungie then came out and issued a statement saying that we've explored the issue and we've determined that this system exists where we throttle XP, we speed it up in some instances, we slow it down in others, and we're not happy with this system and so we're turning it off.
We're not happy with... Can we just start there before we get into... We're not happy with this system.
Yeah.
Clearly, it was nothing to do with them sitting at the table going, you know what, guys, we're just not doing the right thing by our gamers, our consumers.
I created a way for us to make huge sums of legitimate money and still maintain the ethics and the business practices of an evil organization.
No, they got called out, and
true.
then they tried to word something that we also pointed out was kind of bullshit, right?
Yeah, so
Continue.
the statement that they issued was something to the effect of, you can now expect to get consistent XP gains across the board, so there's no throttling factor anymore, and they'll continue to monitor it. Now, what they didn't say in that release was... you can now expect to get more engrams, okay? Because this all ties back to monetization, by the way. In case any of this is unclear, the XP gains that you get directly result in a loot box reward at the end of every level, and the loot boxes can either be earned through XP or they can be bought with microtransactions. So the theory behind all of this was obviously that they were throttling XP to make sure we didn't get too many, so we'd have to buy microtransactions.
Theory is the wrong word. Continue.
Okay, theory is the wrong word. So, Bungie came out, they gave that statement. They didn't say you can expect more engrams. We covered that story on as soon as that happened as well. So we've done 2 videos on this already. As we watched that, we're at that statement. We're like, this is also fucking fishy.
Yes.
What they might do is that they might actually change the total requirement for XP to be able to earn one of these loot crates.
I don't think we thought that at the time.
We did. That's exactly what I said. And now I'm
No.
going to ask you when you edit this to cut in me saying exactly that, so that I can be like, I think that if it was the case that you were going to be able to earn earn more XP here and get more stuff, that Bungie would have said, hey, have more stuff. They want to be able to put it up in lights as a good news story.
Yes.
Whereas they didn't say that, and for me, that sort of suggests that they're going to be doing some other work to XP to level it out, and we can really expect the same rewards that we're getting now.
See, I did say that.
So we said that back then, and now what has happened is that the changes have gone into the game, and people have tested it, and just like we fucking predicted, they have increased the requirements to be able to earn one of these loot boxes. They basically doubled it, so that you now need twice the amount of XP that you needed before to earn one of these loot boxes.
You're such a bad person. Like, all the way through to your core.
Okay. Let's start with the fact.
There's so much here.
Is if you're a big company and then you release a statement to your gamers usually are relatively smart dudes, right?
Well, I think in aggregate we are. Individually, we're not very smart. We're like, hey, Bungie fixed it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we're like, that's fine.
No, what I'm trying to say is there's going to be some people out there that are going to test that shit, right?
Yeah, they're going to look at it, man.
And they did, and of course, you guys have been caught out. So, like, why the fuck? It just doesn't make sense that your plan over the last couple of days was to release a statement that is full, like, complete baloney, and then to put in other things that now make you guys look even worse. Like, you are EA status right now.
Here, so you had the mask going, and then all of a sudden, peekaboo.
I know, look at that.
It's EA.
That's right, everyone's
You
saying
are
this.
totally
This
EA
is,
status.
Everyone's like, you've gone, you never go full EA, man.
Yeah.
You never go full EA.
That is crazy,
But like,
bro.
it literally is a case of Bungie, was caught out on this. It was their intent to develop this system, and they got caught out on it. It wasn't like they proactively said, guys, we'd really like to give you more cosmetics, so we've identified a system that wasn't working, and we're going to change it now, just FYI. They were caught, and they changed it. That's one thing. But now, to come up with a bullshit response, where they basically say, we're making changes.
Really. It was a lie.
It wasn't a lie. Just be really clear about this, right? Because they're very selective with their words. They never lied to us in that release.
Wait a second,
They
but-
just gave us a very clear other impression.
If you are strategically ambiguous to a point where no one really understands what you're doing, and then you implement some things that you knew you were going to implement, I'm sorry, but that kind of classifies to me as like a lie.
I would love to agree with you.
Do you know
but
what I'm saying,
I
though?
do, absolutely. And morally, I agree with you. But in the world of PR, which is obviously what this is about, that is not a lie. That is just how corporations do, man. They're not technically lying to you. They're just being very clever. So obviously, it's really shit. No doubt about that. I want to be super clear. It's the worst, but it's not technically lying in this instance.
Well, technically, just shut up!
It's like a lot of people are saying. It's just very, very selective truth, which is basically the same as lying.
Okay, the PR situation is going to be something that they can sweep under the rug. No one's even going to care about their PR statement that they come out with.
True.
In reality, it's going to be the consumer like us that goes, nope, I don't trust you anymore. I think you're full of shit, and you did lie to me. Sorry.
Now we're going to run a few tests. This is a simple lie detector. I'll ask you a few yes or no questions, and you just answer truthfully. Do you understand?
Yes.
Correct. And that's the reality. So when I say that if you are ambiguous to a point where no one really understands what you're doing, and you intentionally did that, for me, I mean, it's like lying, really.
Yeah. But this is really complicated for this reason. It's very important to understand this part of it, right? The store, the microtransaction store in-game, actually sells an XP booster. So you buy this item from the store, you apply it, and you and your fire team members get bonus XP. You can pay real money for that. People have been paying real money for that since the launch of the game. All of those people have now, in essence, been lied to, because if you were using that item while your XP was being throttled, you were being ripped off, essentially.
100%.
There was another thing that happened as well with, get this, a Pop-Tarts promotion.
I heard about that, actually.
Okay, so
someone in the comment section put something like that.
So people, there was a promotion being run with Pop-Tarts, where if you bought Pop-Tarts, you get bonus XP.
And the chips, the chip ones.
Doritos?
Doritos or something. There was also one that you...
chip or
another
something.
chip.
And another energy drink as well, where you buy these products and you get bonus XP.
Yeah.
All of the people that have bought this stuff have essentially completely wasted their money, because if they were grinding public events while having this booster active, there was almost no benefit. They might have been getting twice the nerfed amount, so instead of getting 5%, they were getting 10%.
I was just going to say...
And that's probably the legal loophole.
But, like, let's not overemphasize that, because people are buying twisties or something. They're not going to be like, shit, the only reason I bought the goddamn twisties is because I wanted it for Destiny.
No, that's why people are doing it.
No.
Oh my god.
You reckon?
Yes,
No
I
way.
have read hundreds of comments of people. I know people I know people who have literally shipped in like boxes of Pop-Tarts from other countries because they don't live in America where they're sold because they wanted to get access to these codes. I'm not joking. I know those people.
Okay,
right?
I did not even think that people would go to that extent.
People are serious, man.
Fair enough.
100%.
But like, for me personally, if I walk into a store and I'm like, oh, there's Destiny 1, times my experience, I hate those chips. Actually, you know what? If I really love the game, I'd be like, fuck, alright, whatever. Actually would. I totally would.
But now, this is a proper consumer protection issue. Okay? This is not just messing around now. This is like, people have spent money on something, expecting something, they didn't get it. That's illegal. Straight up, that's actually illegal. So I think that, I don't know necessarily that Bungie can do anything about refunding their money. I think that ship has sailed. But I absolutely 100% believe that Bungie should be compensating those people that spent money on those products or in-game for these XP boosters with silver. Like, they should absolutely be refunding them the microtransaction currency. That's the least Bungie can do in this instance.
I agree with that.
Otherwise, that's just totally fucked.
Logistically, that's quite difficult.
No, it's not. You identify who's ever consumed one of these codes on their account, you recognize what its value is in terms of silver, and then refund them the amount. Yes. Could not be simpler. There is a clear mechanism in place to do this unquestionably, no doubt about it. It's a big deal, right? And it's just it's gonna continue this story because this is just a perfect example of a time when microtransaction has such a corrupting influence on video games, and this is exactly why. Because before we just say, as we said, Final Fantasy VII, it's so grindy. Final Fantasy VII. But now it's like, well, actually, you've made your game grindy so that you can sell microtransactions through fucking Pop-Tarts, and the Pop-Tarts were a lie. You know what I mean? What a ridiculous conversation to be having in 2017. We should be on the moon right now, man. We should be on the moon, living in colonies, and instead we're arguing about Pop-Tart microtransactions.
But I have to say, this is just another perfect example why legislation has to be put in place. Because ultimately the business ethics, business practices, when you marry any business with gambling components or anything that they can chop and change in the middle of your
without you even knowing about it.
Yeah, without you even knowing about it, in the middle of your gameplay, it's a huge conflict of interest there.
I am very disappointed. Yes. I've always liked Bungie. People hate me for that, but I've always liked Bungie. I
don't mind Bungie too. I thought, Halos were great.
Halo
5 was great.
Destiny,
I keep making that joke.
Destiny 1 by the end was great. And now to see this developer push out Destiny 2, which I'm sorry is a shit game. It is. And to see them do this stuff, I can forgive a shitty game because I think there's a lot that goes into creating an experience.
It's hard. It's not easy.
It's hard, man. And I get it. People have different visions for what's good and what's not. I don't begrudge a company for making a bad game, but I definitely will hold it against them if they lie to me or lie to others and they don't give me what they've promised. And that's exactly what's happened here.
The last point I want to make is we can't put all the blame on Bungie because Activision, of course, is the one that,
but I feel like this is totally Bungie's bag. Bungie built this. Activision didn't say,
we don't know that though. You don't know if they were like, we need you to implement certain things to make sure that we can make as much money out of your games as possible. We don't know.
I mean, you're right, I guess.
We don't know. We don't know what pressure that Bungie really had from Activision, and that's sort of cop-out. I understand that, Bungie definitely has their part to play, but we cannot rule out for a moment that Activision isn't like, hey, this is the year of the microtransaction. How are you going to make us as much money as COD or, as much money as FIFA's doing for EA?
But anyway, that's the story. It will continue to evolve, and we will definitely continue to report on it. This is our third video on this,
I know.
And I suspect there will be quite a few
more
because this is a big deal. Like I said, it is not Star Wars big, but it's certainly it's actually legally big at this point because they are actually breaking the law.
100%.
Breaking the law.
So guys, stay tuned. Laymen Gaming, as always, is the best channel on YouTube.
Business ethics.